Hello again.
ILCP Part 2.
So we're going to talk today about step 2, your initial research. So the first thing we want you to do is take your topic. More than likely you're going to Google whatever your topic is and come up with a list of sources. We want you to find 3 different sources. And these 3 sources, we want them to be different types of sources, such as videos, news articles, websites. What else? Magazines, yeah. Or it could be like a university website, something like that. But at least 3 different types of sources. 3 sources and each one different type.
So the expectation when you're looking at this source isn't that you're reading everything to get all the details out of it. It's just to get an idea of the type of information that's in that source. And so when we're just doing this initial research, we just need to kind of skim or scan whatever the source is. So that might mean that you're reading headings and titles, or you're reading the first sentence or couple sentences in paragraphs rather than reading the whole thing in depth. So in this initial research, you're not spending a lot of time reading a whole article or watching a whole video. It's just kind of getting an idea of what type of information is there so that you figure out the type of information that's available and what other information you need to find.
The purpose of this initial research is just so you learn a little bit about your topic. It'll help you with the next couple steps before you have to spend a lot of time becoming an expert.
One thing that's important is knowing that your topic may change. You will research your topic and realize that it's either boring or there's not a whole lot of information out there, or maybe it's too broad of a topic, or maybe too complex. So your topic may change. You might start out at step 1 after this, but that's okay. We want you to make sure you have a topic that's engaging.
And the last thing is that just because you find 3 sources doesn't mean that you're done with this. So you don't want to just take the first 3 sources that you find. You want to find at least 3 sources. It can be more, but you want to find 3 sources that are going to be useful for your project. So don't just find 3 and call it quits. Find 3 that you really think that you're able to use to learn more about your topic.
Yeah, and you may choose a source, and then once you start your actual research, you may realize that source is not that good, and you might have to discard it and find a different one. And that is common. That happened to me quite a few times.
Yeah, me too.
When I was looking. I thought it was a good source, and then it just didn't give me any information, so I had to toss it and find a different one.
So here are the examples of our sources. For mine, you can see I had some news, a little bit of like kids information, something from a magazine, and these all ended up being pretty useful. I might end up with more sources as I continue to research, and it might turn out that I don't use any of these, but these are my initial sources.
My sources are kind of the second one down there. So I had the Mars One website, which is, ended up being my actual final topic. I had a question there for Mr. Pappas and Miss Berna about whether we should have you guys or I should be using Wikipedia. We talked about it and we said, yeah, it's a good place, especially for this initial research, to get a good general sense of what your topic is about. It shouldn't be your only source. We don't want you to just create a new Wikipedia page, but you should be pulling from different sources. So I have a couple magazine articles, a newspaper article, 2 newspaper articles, a YouTube video, and then another website there as well.
And mine's the last one down there. I used a magazine article. I used a YouTube video, some websites. I had to watch quite a few YouTube videos before I found a legit one. Some of them that were out there just didn't really have a whole lot of information, or the title was what I wanted, but when I watched it, it really didn't give me the content. And half of those sources I didn't even use. I thought they were good sources, but when I started doing my research, they turned out not to be good sources, so I didn't even use them.
So good luck finding your sources. Remember to find a variety And don't spend a lot of time reading them in depth, just skim them over.
Have fun.
Bye.